All right. All right. Hello, everybody. Cole here, alcoholic. So last week it was my lovely fiance speaking and leading, so this time it's my turn. And I guess I'm going to start off from the very beginning because a lot of people, their addiction problems started at a young age from abusive households or just depression in general. So again, Cole here, alcoholic. I would say my first introduction to alcoholism and alcohol started when I was about like 4 or 5 years old. My parents got divorced, and my mom started dating this one guy who was a therapist at Kaiser Permanente, and every single night, without fail, he would get like exceedingly drunk and just like play therapy tapes, play his bongos, run around the house like naked and like just being an abusive asshole. And so that started my progression towards my depression and feeling like an outcast because like at my mom's she was dealing with that, so she didn't have time to deal with me. And then at my dad, he constantly was finding new partners and would like choose his partners over me. And so I just felt like unwanted, unloved, uncared for. And so I would try to escape. But at first I didn't resort to alcohol. That didn't start until I was 11. When I was 11, I hung out with other social outcasts, and because those kind of people just gravitate towards each other, you know. So my first time drinking was like July 4th weekend. I was 11 years old. We went to the Mission Viejo Lake, and she snuck some alcohol out of her parents' liquor cabinet. We filled like a big 32-ounce bottle of vitamin water, like full of vodka with like a smidgen of vitamin water that was left, and we just went out and just started drinking. And at like towards the end of the night, the whole entire bottle was gone. And I asked her, I was like, "Oh, how much did you have to drink?" And then she's like, "Honestly, I didn't drink anything." And I'm like, "How the fuck is that possible? Like, all of it's gone." And bear in mind, at this point, like I'm kind of a small person. At the age of 11, I was like 4'5", weighing 80 pounds, and drinking like 32 ounces of like vodka just totally obliterated me. But like just from the very beginning, I had the phenomena of craving. Like I took one sip and I was like, I didn't drink it for the taste. I drank it for the effect. And so like I just kept drinking until I blacked out. And I had to get carried home, and I was just a total mess. And so I continued drinking occasionally. Um, at the age of 12, I started smoking marijuana, but this isn't about that. And so I didn't start really progressively drinking until I was 13. I used to go to shows a lot. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with Chain Reaction in Anaheim. It's an all ages music venue. And so I was 13 years old and I went to the show there. I think it was Scary Kids Scaring Kids because I was a fucking scene kid back then. And and this is back in the time of MySpace. So I went to that show. I posted on like the MySpace, like, "Oh, great show, this and that." And then this one person added me, and I accepted their friend request. And then they posted on the bulletins, like, "Oh, hey, I have a free ticket to the show. Who wants to come?" And then me, being like the 13-year-old who was like oppressed by my family and everything, my mom didn't drive me anywhere. She didn't give me any money for anything. I had to do everything myself. And so I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'll go." And then so I messaged him. I was like, "Yeah, I'll take that ticket, this and that." And he's like, "All right, well, I'll meet you at the town center and I'll pick you up and we can go." So I started hanging out with this person. Uh, and as an oblivious 13-year-old, I didn't really care about age, but this guy was 27 years old. And I didn't really pay much attention to that. So we just started hanging out like all the time. Like he would invite me over to his house. I would spend the night at his place. and we would just drink until I'd black out. I'd spend the night, and then he'd like also invite me to like festivals and stuff. And every single time he would like be paying for everything, giving me alcohol. I didn't really know at the time that he was like grooming me. um, and I didn't mind because like he was just paying for everything, and I was having fun getting blacked out drunk because that's what I love to do. And so that continued from age 13 to 17 until I moved out of Orange County to San Diego County. But just for like those 4 years, like just constantly drinking, just like escaping from my life and my misery. And then like at the from like 17 on, I kind of took a little break from alcohol because like I just I don't know. I don't know why or how I did it, but I didn't drink for a little while. Up until like I moved out on my own to Colorado. And then when I was like on my own and like paying my own rent and everything, I would just buy bottles and bottles of liquor. And like I would have like a whole shelf with like all the empty bottles because I just was like, oh yeah, this is cool. And like every single day I would just like wake up like with a full glass of Kraken, and like I would just be constantly drinking that. Um and like so I would do that like religiously every single day. And then when I moved back to California, my drinking continued. I worked at a restaurant, and at restaurants, like uh, everybody's drinking, everybody's partying, getting fucked up. So like after work, during work, before work, I would be like drinking, and like everybody was cool with it. So I thought that it was okay. Um, until like and then so I would be drinking constantly doing that, still thinking that I didn't have a problem, thinking could control myself. And even when I did black out, like I honestly enjoyed blacking out because like one for the fact that like I couldn't remember anything or feel anything, but also like the day after, I would I just loved hearing the stories about myself. Like my friends would come up to me and be like, "Oh, bro, did you know you did this and that?" And I'm like, "No, I don't fucking remember that, but that sounds awesome. Like that sounds fun. Like I guess I'm a cool, fun, like talkative person, a social person. Like when I'm on alcohol." And so like I just continued like drinking just so I can get those like memories I don't even remember, which is just like ridiculous. And then just like it just continued like my binge drinking. I would go to the pier all the time to play music and drink at the beach, and I'd just be one of those annoying assholes at the pier who are just like blackout drunk, just like screaming and yelling and fighting with his friends. And like there's just the kind of people that you would avoid all the time. And I would like always be the one that like would supply the alcohol. And I feel like a big part of that is just because I wanted to feel like needed or feel like I'm helping people out. But like little did I know that I'm just like adding to people's like addiction and self-destruction, which now I know it doesn't help anybody out. It just makes their lives worse. Um and so my drinking just continued and continued. And then I stopped working at restaurants, and I got into the security business during COVID. And that during COVID, that kind of progressed my drinking even more because like I wasn't working, and the government was giving me thousands and thousands of dollars, and like I had nothing else to do other than like drink and do drugs. And so that's exactly what I did. And when I was working in security, like I enjoyed it also because like if you're working as a security person, like you don't have your boss breathing down your neck. You're by yourself the whole entire time. So I would like since nobody was around, nobody was like paying attention to me, I was just like I couldn't get through the day without like a 24 pack of beer or like fucking a like 40-ounce bottle of like tequila or something, anything to just like give me a whole edge throughout the whole entire day. So I'm like working all day just to spend the money that I'm working on to get drinks to make it through the day. And like that just continued on going and going. until one of the last times I was drinking, I got belligerent drunk at work, working as a night guard at a superstore, and my fiance Nadia was like feeling sick at this time, and so I was like trying to be like the nice boyfriend, and I went to the store. I had like the the electric scooter, the handicap scooter shopping carts, and I just like drunkenly got into the scooter, just like rode around the whole entire store, just shoveling shit into my fucking basket, and just like going from like the store and then going to my van, and then just like putting everything that I stolen from the store into the van, going back into the store, stealing more shit, and then going back, and like after I like felt like I had done enough time at my work because I ended up getting out early on my own volition. But and I drove 60 miles from Escondido to Dana Point, just blackout drunk. I don't even remember the drive. But like for me, like drinking and driving, I honestly enjoyed it when I was an alcohol, well, when I was in my time of drinking because I was like, oh, I'm a great drunk driver. Like I'm perfect. The only reason why I'm swerving is because I enjoy swerving and it's fun. And like, but it's just stupid and dangerous. Like I just didn't have a right state of mind when I was like in my alcoholic state of mind. And I didn't care about anybody's feelings or like the safety of others. Like I would just like do everything for myself. Like even though I'm saying like I was doing this for my fiance, like really I was just doing it to make myself feel better. Like feel like somebody who's good or who's helpful and all that stuff. And like obviously like while I've been drinking, like I had done like a lot of really like stupid things um that constantly got me in trouble. I'd like to think of myself as somebody who likes to help people and is nice and always tries to like be there for others. And so one night I thought I was being a helpful, nice, sweet, like caring person, and I helped these people out. And that incident got me fucked with the law. I That's the whole reason why I am a felon at the moment because of my actions, my decisions to try to be there for people, and like just like turned out the wrong way completely, and like just pretty much ruined my life. Way more, oh, well, like even more than alcohol did. But like I'm not here to like blame other people. It's completely my actions that caused all of this. Is my actions for drinking, for offering drinks, for trying to be there for other people when like really like other people like sickeningly want to bring other people down. And so through all this, like I pretty much like started to really think about my life and my future, and like especially with my fiance, like realizing that I do want a family. I do want to like settle down and like stop being a fuck up and stop like going out there and hurting myself and killing my body and my mind, and like that I have something to live for now. Because like before, like the whole reason why I was drinking was because I was like I don't want to be alive anymore. I don't want to live my daily life, so I would drink to black out. So like even if I like wasn't dead, I wasn't conscious either. And so with like all that, I've been going to AA since I was 14. My dad, he brought me to my first meeting, and it was actually pretty funny. He knew the people that were there, and he told them beforehand. It was like, all right, tell the most fucked up stories that you have, so you could scare my child away. And so like it was just like a room full of people talking about like walking in on their kids being overdosed on a hotel bed, or just like a whole bunch of shit. And like everybody was crying, I was crying, and I'm like, but like still with my 14-year-old mindset, I'm like, oh, that's not gonna happen to me. Like I can control my shit, but like like with drinking, like you don't progress in your mind state. Like you're like you don't really grow up once you start drinking. So like when I started drinking at the age of 11, like when I stopped drinking, like my my mind state was still that 11-year-old child that just had like this like stunted growth in my brain because like I didn't have a chance to like progress as a human being. I didn't have a chance to progress with my coping skills, my life skills, with anything. Because like everything that I did, if like I fucking dropped a book on my foot, I'd drink. If I fucking like was 5 minutes late, I'd drink. Like I would find any reason to just like pick up a bottle and like just be like, oh well, alcohol will solve this, and like I don't need to really worry about that because once I'm drinking, I don't worry about anything. Um, but now with like me wanting to be more of an adult, be more of a man, be more of like a human in this society, like I'm trying to learn how to cope, how to live and learn and love like without all these like inhibitants. But like um and so that's pretty much where I am at right now. I'm in 3 days I have 1 year sober. Um, and like I feel like my coping skills have kind of gotten a little better. I was like I still relied on marijuana and medication for the most part. I'm like, oh, and I was even like thinking about talking to my psychologist, like, oh well, I I sometimes get angry, so I should get on mood stabilizers. And then I caught myself thinking that I'm like, man, I'm just like substituting like alcohol and all these other drugs with more fucking drugs, even if they're like legal prescriptions. Like it's still like me not wanting to cope with myself or cope with my feelings or my life. And so like I just need to get back into the root of like working out, eating healthy, like yoga, just like doing things that I actually love rather than doing things that like prove to myself that I don't love myself, because like I want to get to the point where I can love myself, love who I am. And like with alcohol, I was never able to do that because like yeah, I had a lot of fun times, but at least I think I did because I don't remember any of them. And like I want to actually be able to remember like my moments with my cherished people, like my friends and my family. And it kind of like made me feel good once I did stop drinking because like I did start going back to hanging out with my friends who were my drinking buddies. And I would tell them that like I stopped drinking, and then like me thinking that they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're such a loser!" Like, "Oh, come on, drink one more beer." They'd be like, "Oh, that's cool," and then just brush it off, and that was that. Like, they didn't fucking care, and like I'm like, whoa, I'm like overthinking all this shit, thinking that like everybody's gonna judge me for like not wanting to fuck my life up, but then like in reality, like people don't fucking care, like and like in a good way, like people do care, but like they don't care that like you're not gonna like not you're not gonna be drinking anymore. They don't care that like you're not gonna be smoking. And I feel like maybe it's because like hey, more for them, but um at the same time like it still feels good that like I can still like be friends with these people because like behind it all, like I do care about them and love them as people and friends. And like I feel that like a lot of people just get scared that like, oh, these people aren't gonna like me anymore, or I'm not gonna like them. But like there's so much things in this world that you can like bond on other than alcohol. Like when the people that I was drinking and singing with, like and playing music with, like you cut out the drinking and you're left with singing and playing music, which is still pretty fucking fun. And like so I was just like able to like realize that like I like really don't need alcohol anymore to feel that way. To feel like I belong with people or fit in. And yeah, so I've like this past year I have just been like really like just talking to people now. When things bother me, especially my fiance, like if I'm feeling like I want to relapse, like I'll give her a call and like I'll tell her like how I'm feeling, and then she'll tell me everything is gonna be all right, and I believe that because like as long as like I'm not putting myself in danger, we're both like trying to stay clear of like this like that fucked up lifestyle. Like everything will be okay, and like it's all about progress instead of perfection. Like we don't need to be perfect at the moment. Like we'll get there. Like maybe we won't because nobody's perfect. I don't know, but as long as like we keep trying and we keep like being there for each other and have our family and friends and all this stuff, like like everything is going to be all right. Like, and that's one of the biggest things I took out of like the sobriety that I've had so far is that like you're going to be okay. Like, and it's okay to not be okay, but like this too shall pass. Like everything will go on and be all right. Just like sleep it off, maybe just like fucking read a book or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much like my whole life story with my alcohol abuse. Just like constantly getting in trouble with my friends, my family, the law, constantly hurting myself, like constantly putting myself in danger. Like I would wake up with cuts and bruises all over myself because I'm a skater, and so like I would like skate super fucking drunk, and then I'd fucking wake up with like just blood just gushing out of me, and it was just because like I'd fall super hard, and like because like I can't like I couldn't like stay like straight, and but now I don't really have to worry about any of that anymore. I don't have to worry about like damaging myself, my mind, my mental state, other people. Like I can feel comfortable in knowing that like things are getting better, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have for now.